It was the first time really in starters were as hooked up mentally as they need to be to start a game. In terms of effort, enthusiasm, communication, it was lacking compared to the other five. So offensively, I thought we were a little stagnant. The good news is we didn't play particularly well offensively the first half, but defensively we did a lot of good things, and that kept us in the game until our offense got going a little bit. And as I told the team, we only made 8 3-point shots against Wisconsin. We only shot 16. We don't have to shoot threes to be successful. And I thought we became a little deflated the first half when we missed some open threes, and that can't be who we are. We'll take open threes, and we have to stay confident. We have to knock them down, but we also have to understand we have some guys that can attack the basket. Justin did a good job around the rim tonight, or this afternoon. In the second half, we didn't make a bunch of threes either, but we scored 52 points. So there's a lot of ways to do this offensively, and we just want to make sure we don't become too reliant on the three-point shot.
Question for the student athletes.
I guess for both guys, looks like the difference in each half was the transition game. You couldn't get it going in the first half. The second half, a little bit different. And, their coach alluded to live ball turnovers. You turned them over 13 times. I guess what did you do defensively, adjustments-wise, in the second half or in halftime to get it going in the second half?
In the first half, we just didn't have any energy, as he said, and that you can credit that to the trip from St. Thomas. But we just figured it out the second half. We came in with energy, and our guys picked us up, our seniors, and we just got the job done.
The second half, we just brought more energy and effort, and we just really ran. Our guards and big man ran the wing so Maurice could get the ball down in transition. That really helped us out. Running up and down the court in transition is what's going to help us a lot. So when we don't get stops like we need to, it's hard to run in transition and get the buckets we need.
Justin, you had to sit. You had to sit for 10 minutes or so in the first half. Just what's going through your mind during that stretch as your team's battling here and able to.
Nothing. I'm just trying to cheer my team on. They're doing a great job, and if they weren't doing a great job, I'm still cheering them on. So I was proud of Martine and Toby, how they were out there playing hard and aggressive. And you see Zach went down. We need that type of play out of our front court. So I'm just proud of my team today.
When you have to sit, does it spice up, add something to your game a little bit? And I mean, you scored.
No, not really. I already got a chip on my shoulder. I was a red shirt. I sat that for a whole year, so I'm used to it.
Any other questions for the student athletes?
I guess defensively tonight, even when the shots weren't going down, the first half defensively, you were still maintaining a good field goal percentage. It looked like you were doing a decent job of stopping the dribble penetration and making them shoot over you. I guess how did you stay confident on the defensive end even though the shots weren't falling? Because that usually plays into both sides of the court when the shots aren't falling.
We were playing good the first 25 seconds. In the last 5 seconds, we just lost our focus. So we just really focused on playing a full 30 seconds out and getting tougher going down the shot clock and just boxing out and finishing the play and going down on offense.
Yeah, we just really locked in. Honestly, that's what we did. We really weren't connecting, and it was the first five's fault because, we got to set the tone, and we just wasn't locked in like we usually are. And, that's how we got to approach every game. We got to come in locked in because people are going to try to play their hardest against us. And, as you've seen, we play against Wisconsin, North Carolina State, Ole Miss. We bring it every game, so we have to bring it in these type of games too.
One more for the student athletes.
I guess, Justin, were you surprised they didn't double you? So, again, you call, I guess just what was your approach when you got the ball offensively? Because a lot of times it looked like you were facing up. You thought you could maybe get to the rim, I guess. What was your approach against those guys?
I think this is for all our big men. If they don't double us, we want to try to get the best shot because it's not. I wouldn't want to say it's good for us. Your eyes get bright when you see they aren't doubling, and we can penetrate and kick it out to our guards, and they can just spray it. So that was good for us that they didn't double, I guess.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Good job, DP.
We'll continue with questions for Coach McDermott.
Greg, do you put any of it on travel lanes or anything like that?
Probably not as much as Justin did, no. We've been home 5 days, so. But, it was a long trip, and the recovery from that, Tuesday we didn't practice, but we sat on a plane all day. And then we made a late decision not to practice Wednesday. Just guys were sore and tired, and I just didn't want to risk injury. So we ended up practicing Thanksgiving morning, which isn't the greatest day to get your guys mentally locked in. But I thought we had a good practice yesterday, and I thought our shoot-around was pretty focused today. And like I said, defensively, we did what we had to do. We didn't react very well to them taking 25 to 30 seconds every shot clock and really making us grind it. And, as Justin said, the first half, I thought our defense did not get stronger as the shot clock wore down. It got weaker. The second half, we did a better job of that.
You talk about the lift, I guess the lift that Martine brought.
I thought the front line, I thought Martine and Toby and Ronnie made a lot of winning hustle plays, extra effort type plays. And, we're going to need Martine, we're going to need Toby, we're going to need Ronnie with Zach down. It's a different look for our team, and I think everybody has to get used to it because, Zach's physical presence was something that was different than anybody on our team, and we don't have that, so we have to try to create it in different ways if we can. But I thought Martine was active on the offensive glass. He got a couple, and he tipped a couple out. He ran the floor well. And then, Ronnie came in and gave us a great lift. And then Toby, after not playing great the first half, I thought did some really good things the second half.
You guys were 22 of 26 on twos in the second half. In your three, you mentioned the threes weren't falling, but you're still a good three-point shooting team. You're still spacing the floor. Did you say anything to them as far as they're going to guard us like we're going to hit it, but, we need to make an emphasis?
We really talked at halftime about attacking the rim in transition, make somebody stop you from getting to the rim first. And, we're able to shoot that kind of percentage from the two because of the threat of the three-point shot. You're not going to step off Zierden and Foster and Kyrie and because they're shooting it so well, Cole. That opens up the floor and it allows guys to get downhill and get to the basket and make some things happen. So I thought we did a good job of that, in particular the second half. The first half we got down there, we just missed some shots, I think, close to the rim.
Justin, a little bit, he had an advantage against a team like today, a team like played today, but what he was able to do, some of the different things that he's shown.
He kept it simple, which is good to see. He had a chance to shoot a three, and he turned it down and, made a hard jab step, got to 15, knocked that shot down, which is, he shoots that shot better than he does a three right now. So for him to have the maturity to recognize that was good to see. And, he showed some of the things he can do in the post. He's got the jump hook, but he can spin and make some plays over the other shoulder as well. So, the kid's he's going to keep getting better and better as we go. And, frankly, nothing surprises me because there's obviously a lot of potential, a lot of talent there.
Is there, I know it's only 6 games in, Greg, but you guys have played some good opponents already. So is what Patton is giving you, is it maybe more than you thought he would at this point?
I don't know that you ever expect a freshman to have the impact that he's having. It's hard for freshmen in college basketball. And, he jokes about the redshirt year, but it ended up being a great thing for him. He's so much more prepared, not just physically, but mentally in terms of how you have to play the game and how consistent your effort has to be. And he's certainly not there yet, 100%, but he's made tremendous strides, and his growth really is happening day by day right in front of our eyes. So, the redshirt thing was a great thing for him, and, I think the guys trust him. And especially offensively, when he dives to the rim, you just got to throw it up there somewhere, and he's going to go get it.
Are you seeing anything, not to take credit away from what they're doing, but as far as getting them prepared to be ready for that next minute mentality? Because, Justin's ready to start when Zach isn't 100% to start the season. Martine now steps up when Zach gets hurt. Ronnie was ready today when he comes off the bench and gets some minutes. What about their preparation or what you're saying or what they're doing?
We talk about it all the time. You just never know. In the game of basketball, goofy things happen injury-wise, and you don't want to be that guy that when your number's called, you're not ready. And, it's hard for young players to understand. I think Kobe and Davion are still probably struggling with it. But Martine's been around, and he's seen it, and I think he understands it. Ronnie's been in our program. He gets it. And, I was I'd said it before, I was comfortable playing 6 guys in the front line before Zach got hurt, depending on matchups. And now it's down to 5. But I'm comfortable playing all 5 of those guys, and you know, depending on what we need in that particular game, they all have to be ready. So, you know, I think we'll continue to get some good production out of there because we do have some experience there with Toby, and, you know, Ronnie's a third-year guy, and Martine's a second-year guy. So, and every experience like today is going to be great for Martine. You just got to go out there, you got to experience some success, and that just motivates you more to work a little harder in the practice floor.
Just one more, Justin, what do you want him to take away from the first half, where he probably foul at times, and he had a couple of times?
Yeah, you know, playing a guy with 2 fouls in the first half, there's a lot of, I was just reading a lot on it actually yesterday, a couple articles on if you start to run the numbers. And I probably used to be a coach that almost always sat a guy with 2 fouls. I've loosened that a little bit depending on my trust level and them understanding. Sometimes you have to be able to play hard, but you have to be smart and not take a chance to get that 3rd foul. I'm there with Maurice. Probably not there with Justin yet. And we have a little more depth and a little more experience there. So if Martine's going in and doing a good job, we can roll with it. You know, had we gone down 6 or 8, that changes the dynamic of that as well, and you might go back with him. But, you know, he got a couple foolish fouls because he left his feet, and he's got to learn from that and use his length without putting himself in a position to rack up those fouls.
Anything else?
Thank you.